Hey Aries, welcome to September 2025. Wow, are you ready for another busy month? We have two eclipses. We see Mercury enter Virgo, we see Uranus retrograde begins in Gemini, and we see Mars entering Scorpio while the Sun moves into Libra. So this is a lot going on in September. Overall, this month looks to be much better than last month for Aries natives. This is Sun, Moon, and Rising in Aries. Honestly, if you just have a lot of planets in Aries or project a lot of Aries energy, this is going to be an interesting time for you. I'm going to list the important days on the screen now. You might want to copy them down and plan around them. As we say goodbye to Virgo season and welcome Libra season, this energy will shift dramatically. But the most important period for you will be September the 7th, Pisces lunar eclipse. And this will trigger a lot of subconscious issues and bring them to the surface. Everything from old relationship baggage to past self-sabotage situations may rise to the surface to be dealt with. And I don't mean just kicking yourself mentally for, self-sabotaging. I mean really picking it apart to understand what happened. These aren't new issues, and it's not a big surprise they're coming up. For the last year, you've been kind of doing a life review where anytime you got quiet or still, things from the past would come up to be pulled apart, picked apart, and understood, hopefully. Now, though, this energy will demand your attention if you want to move forward. You're going to have to understand, heal, and release these things from your past. And hopefully you have worked through them or at least begun unpacking these issues over the last year. And I'm pretty sure you have, so it won't be that dramatic. But if you haven't, if you've run away from them when they've come up, which Aries is very courageous, but there are times when sitting with your own stuff can be really uncomfortable. And that's not just Aries, that's all of us. So there are times when we have this drive to do anything but work on our own stuff. And that's normal, completely normal. But hopefully you've started this process. And if you've kind of put it off or delayed actually unpacking these issues, then you're going to see that these things come up again in a very dramatic way that could hold you back or make you feel like you're not achieving what you should be achieving. It's like they're huge roadblocks, and sometimes you can see them and sometimes you can't. Well, now with this new energy, they're going to be front and center. So you're going to understand how much they really are impacting you. So moving forward, you're going to have to deal with them. So it would be better to start sooner rather than later. It's also important for you to work on understanding and healing these blocks rather than just ignoring them or trying to just push them out of the way. Because if you don't understand where they came from, they're likely to appear again and again and again until they're dealt with. So if you're having issues from your childhood come up now, maybe issues around self-worth or your ability to be loved or, anything like that, that when you say it out loud, you go, that's not me. I don't believe that, which is true. You don't, but your inner child could still be stuck in that cycle of thinking that they don't deserve love or they don't deserve nice things or they don't deserve steady income. So that's why it's really important to go back and work on these issues. So that's not all we're going to talk about today. We're going to look at your career. We're going to look at your health, your wealth. We're going to dive into Elders Aries forecast, Student Aries forecast, and of course, romance and travel. And spoiler, there's a lot of interesting things going on in the astrology and the universal energy for Aries now, especially around travel and big trips. So I want to thank you so much for joining me for this video. This is my take on the energy and the astrology, and because of that, it's not going to resonate with everyone. Take what does and leave the rest behind. And once again, I want to stress that this is Western astrology, and it is also peppered with my intuitive insights. Let's go. Let's dive into your career. September 2025 looks to be a fruitful month for your career. A work trip is possible this month, and it could go very well. But there also is a possibility it could get extended, or there's something going on where you may stay longer than you had originally thought about. Now, it doesn't mean that things are going to fall apart or there's going to be, delays because of plane crashes or something like that. No. It's more like the deal will go through or the training will go through, but it may be extended because someone on on the training side or on their business side has to take a sick day or has to take some leave, or there may be some negotiation around a final contract. So just kind of keep that in mind. Also, if your employer or the company that you work for is offering training of any kind of continuing education classes or any type of additional training, this is a great time to sign up and add that to your skill set. This could add to the possibility of you being promoted later in the year. So this is something you definitely want to sign up for, especially if the training is involving travel. But while all of that's going on, your workload hasn't really changed and you have quite a bit of responsibility right now. But you don't feel overwhelmed because things are better. Things are better at home, you're feeling better, and just generally you're able to manage this energy in a more productive way. But you're still working hard. Work-related travel, as I said, is also a possibility, especially around the 18th when Mercury enters Libra. And this will highlight a very beneficial time for individuals working in government areas and could lead to a promotion later on. The last 2 weeks of the month, you're more at ease with work and you're ready to tackle bigger, more detailed projects. So things that got shelved because of Mercury retrograde and the internal fog and all the communication delays and stuff, now you're ready to tackle those issues. You're ready to knock out reports or spearhead projects that are going to have a lot of moving pieces. So this is a really good time also to start new projects. Just don't overcommit yourself as you already have a lot of responsibilities. When we look at self-employed, gig working, and business owning Aries, you too will likely travel for work this month. It will be fruitful, but you will need to stick to your boundaries. And don't give in just to please someone, a potential client, investor, or someone that you think you need to work with. Stick to your boundaries, and if they can't respect that, then they're not the right fit. On the 21st is the Virgo solar eclipse, and this energy can help you get on board with new projects. It really helps you also become more enthusiastic about your job. You began working for yourself or building your business because you really saw the potential and you knew that working for yourself and building this business was something that was going to allow you more freedom and also bring in more income. The past several months and maybe the past several years, it's been more of a struggle. There have been some good times, don't get me wrong, but it is very demanding with this eclipse energy that you're feeling more excitement about work. And with that, that could open the door for new opportunities to make more money and maybe enter into profitable partnerships as well. Just again, don't overcommit yourself. Overall, business owners may experience huge gains in September. Now, they may not pay out until October or November, but we see a lot of forward progress with business owners this month. Looking very good there, Aries. For unemployed Aries seeking employment, or perhaps if you're looking to pick up a second or side job, this is a really good time to apply, get out there, send out resumes, and talk to people. You're likely to secure a solid job offer after the 15th, and this could be the one you were waiting for. It fits your needs, the pay is good, and it is in your field. And so this is not something that you're going to take to tide you over until something better comes along. This is the actual job that you've been waiting for. Don't hesitate to send out resumes to the places that you really want to work. Even though maybe they haven't been hiring or they're not offering anything online, no job postings or anything, just keep at it. So that was a lot. Aries, this is going to be one of those months where it's kind of up and down. There's a lot happening and you don't have a lot of time to rest, but there's a lot of forward motion and it's good. It's good stuff. So just buckle up and focus on what's in front of you. We're going to dive into your wealth now. And I want to stress this is a broad general reading for Aries natives. If you would like to know more personally how this energy will affect you, contact me for a personal reading. Okay, looking at your wealth, we could see investment income rise this month as global investments continue to go up and down around new laws, requirements, and restrictions. But still, it looks like you're going to be okay. Aries has been committed to a budget and saving money. And it hasn't been easy, not in this economy, and also because everything costs more and there's a lot of stuff you want to do. But you have been saving money and you're sitting at least on a small nest egg now. You could be very tempted to travel, and we'll talk about that more in the travel sector at the end of the video. But be warned, it will cost you an enormous amount of money, much more than you think. it's going to cost. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean you shouldn't travel. You just need to be aware that things are more expensive across the board. And I think you'll also be presented with a new way to make money this month. This could be a side hustle that takes off. This could be something else where it just kind of falls in your lap and there's another short-term income stream. So you want to take advantage of that. I don't think it's going to be life-changing money, but it will definitely help. And there will be, of course, a constant rise in expenses this month, making this month full of ups and downs. You're likely to have steady income, yes, but everything will cost more. And if you travel, you will definitely dip into your savings. And I want to make this clear. You don't have an issue with money or spending. It isn't you. And it isn't happening because you're mismanaging your money or you're lazy or anything like that. You're actually very good with money, Aries, and you're very good at pulling money out of thin air. But what's going on now is because the dollar or whatever currency that you are using isn't worth as much, and it can only be wrung out so much. So in other words, you may be making an extra 100, let's say, which used to be at least a little bit of extra money, and now it just seems to evaporate. And it's not because you're not managing your money. Everyone is facing this. So it's not you. So don't think that somehow you have failed. It's just that the money isn't worth as much as it was. And this will probably continue for the next several years. So just keep that in mind and think about the bigger picture with investing. I recently had a conversation with one of my coaching clients about the fact that if you can't hold it in your hand, you don't actually own it. So think about that. Is there something you're counting as an asset that you don't really technically own? You might want to consider how you can rectify that situation moving forward to give yourself some more security. Okay, Aries, let's look at your health. You should pay close attention to your health during September. Now, see, you're busy, and as we begin the month, you are working a lot, you're carrying a lot of responsibility, and this could exacerbate existing health problems. Due to your workload and stress, you may experience stomach or intestinal troubles, especially if your diet is less than perfect. Really watch what you're eating and watch the time that you're eating. And also try and limit alcohol and any recreational drugs this month because you want to stay clear-headed and you want to feel your best because you have a lot of exciting opportunities as well as a lot of obligations this month. So really think about that. And also, long days staring at a screen can cause eye problems. If your vision is changing, seek appropriate medical care. If you ignore your health concerns, they might worsen. So really be proactive, take your vitamins and supplements, and try and get enough sleep. I don't think that we're going to see any accidents or we're going to see any chronic conditions develop. It's more along the lines of being proactive and taking care of yourself and knowing that if you eat a lot of spicy foods, you're going to probably have heartburn, that kind of thing. Be proactive and everything should be fine. Looking at Aries elders. You too want to travel now, but you also may be worried about health issues and, of course, finances. You may plan to treat your family members to a large family vacation, or you may want to take them somewhere they've always wanted to go, but it's going to cost more than expected. Perhaps instead of footing the entire bill, you should at least let others make a contribution. And I know Aries generally, when they set their mind to something, they don't want other people feeling responsible like they need to kick in. But let's be realistic. You're on a more fixed income. You do have some investments. You do have some other things that are bringing in money, but not enough. You're set where you are, but if you're going to have the lifestyle that you want, you're going to have to really watch the money. And once again, it's not you poor planning, it's the fact that the economy is in chaos. So if someone in the family wants to kick in a little bit and make a contribution to this vacation, allow it to happen. You may also receive an increase in your pension or have a new way to bring in extra money this month as well. Now, it will not be enough to fund this family trip, no, but it will help with day-to-day expenses. Just make sure everything is legit before you sign on to anything, whether it's travel stuff or whether it is investments, whatever. There are a lot of scams out there and they are getting more and more difficult to recognize. But overall, it looks like we're going to see more income coming in, more time spent with family and friends, and you're feeling better overall. So this is a really good time for Elder Aries. Looking at Aries students, as you begin the month, you have mental clarity to solve problems and clear any pending work. This is also a perfect time to socialize. Once you get everything done, relax and have some fun, attend some sporting events, hang out with people, and just generally relax. But later in this cycle, out of town family may make a trip to see you, and this will be a joyous time. But your schedule may be thrown off because of this. Make sure to set aside time to study or complete schoolwork. Now isn't the time to slack off, or you will struggle to catch up. We're going to see October and November be very fast paced for student Aries. So you want to make sure that you don't start the next month behind. Overall, it looks like a good time for you as well. And speaking of that, as we touch on Aries' family situation, we could see a conflict over property or assets that maybe the family owns. Maybe it's been an inheritance or something like that. And this could lead to arguments among family members. However, if you can keep your temper in check and not snap at people, but rather step back and allow them to talk it out and then be the voice of reason as to what needs to happen, I think you can work through this, and by the end of the month, everything will be sorted. That's going to be an interesting thing going on too. Let's look at your romantic forecast for September 2025. Single Aries may be more emotional this month. As we begin Libra season on the 18th, you'll become more charismatic and attractive to new admirers. For singles, this means new relationships are possible, and you're definitely going to be meeting more people. Some will turn out to be friends, while others could be something more. For dating Aries natives, your relationship could change this month as silly misunderstandings could occur, causing hurt feelings in your relationships. Because like I said, you're going to be a little bit more emotional this month, and something that your partner says could actually upset you. This relationship is still really new, and you're dating. You haven't really committed to something more. So you need to think about where this relationship is headed and if it is actually making you happy. And honestly, do you want something more long term with this person? They're more emotional as well, and they're taking some of your sarcastic jokes to heart. So if you want to continue dating this person, then exercise caution and communicate clearly about any concerns as they happen. Don't let misunderstandings grow and fester. Talk things through before the situation gets out of hand. Now let's take a look at married, committed, and partnered Aries natives. This month we'll see committed Aries spending more time with their family, and your special person feels more relaxed and happier because of this. You're giving your partner more attention, spending quality time together. You're both having a good time doing this, spending time together, spending time with family and friends. Life is much better, and you're both feeling better. The relationship is stronger, and you're becoming even more bonded to each other. And it changes everything. There is also a possibility that you may go on a family trip and build wonderful memories. Just watch your spending. And as the sun enters Libra and we begin Libra season, you're going to have an easier time expressing yourself and are more focused on being a good partner. So this brings much more harmony to your household, and things just flow easier in September for Aries natives. So overall, a very good month romantically for Aries natives. Okay, let's dive into your travel forecast. Hey Aries, let's take a look at the possibility of travel and vacation fun for you for September 2025. Is a trip in the works? Aries loves to travel, go new places, meet new people, have new adventures. Is that going to be possible in September of 2025? Yes, actually it will. You may have multiple opportunities to travel in September, and you could finally take that much awaited overseas trip that you've been planning for, decades? It will take a lot of budgeting, and you're going to have to probably dip into your savings, but you could make it happen. You could make a pilgrimage of sorts also with family members, and this may make for many wonderful memories. So if there's some place that you and your family, and we're talking about not just your immediate family, I'm talking about your extended family, have always wanted to go, someplace you've always wanted to see, something you've always wanted to experience, this could be the time that it comes together. And this is something that will bring your family closer together and also could be potentially life-changing. The closeness that you're going to experience, the revelation of the place you're going could definitely impact your future in a very positive way. So exciting times for Aries and their family. Also, we do see some smaller trips, possibly a long weekend or just a small getaway, maybe even during the week, going to the lake, the beach, something like that. There also is a possibility of you spending some time having adventure, going to a sporting event, a concert, or a festival. It's going to be a really busy month for Aries natives, and it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. But the only caution is definitely set a budget and stick to it, because travel is probably going to cost a lot more than you expect, especially in September. Start budgeting, maybe lock in some deals now, get everyone ready for a new adventure. Have a great month. Reiki blessings.